do love the idea of it being dead spontaneous, and I don't know the questions that you're going to ask me.
Do you know what that the pressure that puts me under?
Well, being a celebrity of the highest order these days, then if pressure comes naturally.
Do you know what the Robbie Williams is? Oh, by the way, welcome to the pod again, Steve. Is this officially started now?
This is officially started.
Oh, right, sorry. We've officially started. Just for those people that are watching, and you think we just sort of edited that wrong. We've now officially started. We need a clapperboard. Yeah. But no, on that note, Stephen, Robbie Williams has got a new album coming out.
Well.
And the reason I mention that is because when you sit there and go, our newfound celebrity status, I don't need much for the ego to be up in the stratosphere. And it brings to mind that maybe that album that Robbie brought out, was it The Ego Has Landed?
Yeah.
That's about it. Bring it on.
Are you a Robbie fan, Chris?
Do you know what? I thought when Take That first started, gosh, when you look back now, when Take That started, I think they started in something like 89 or 90 or something. And you don't realise how old these guys now are. They're in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And Robbie, I think he went on a bit of a meltdown, didn't he, when he left?
Yeah.
He put on a bit of weight, was mixing around with the guys at Oasis. But I quite liked the attitude that he had. Because he was very much kind of like, it was an ego, wasn't it? I mean, he used to come up with more interesting songs, and I
thought they were better songs than the Take That songs as well.
Yeah, and so I think, am I a fan of Robbie? I think he can be a bit much sometimes, but he does make me laugh.
Yeah.
He walks around Hyde Park in a pink suit and sunglasses, and just trying to get noticed, and do you know who I am? And
yeah.
So he's like
with his funky shades on.
Yeah. So that's quite funny. So I like the fact he doesn't seem to take himself too seriously, which is something that I guess I do, but I do like taking the mickey out of myself. But here we are, yet another pod.
This is number 10.
Is it number 10?
It's number 10.
Number 10, and it's still, everybody. I don't get paid.
Well, technically, it's number 10 of the new format of the Where Common Sense Fails podcast.
All he's saying, right, everybody, is I don't get paid. I don't get hair and makeup. I don't get any benefits out of this pod. Right? I come here, and he just thinks I'm like a dancing chicken on a hot roof. He basically sits me down in this chair, he puts these blinding lights on me, and this goes, right, perform.
I couldn't be there, I guess, to be fair.
And he just sits there and cheekily goes, I love the fact that I don't know what's coming. And I've got to sit here calmly, racking my brains going, what we're going to talk about. You think this comes easy?
Talent is given, mate. Hard work makes it real.
But anyway, so let's. I'm enjoying it, Steve. I do enjoy this. But your setup today took super long because I've already had my Safbucks and it's finished.
Oh yeah, is the caffeine wearing off now?
So I'm sort of sitting here now going.
For those who don't know, I did actually bring confectionery and soft drinks. To the party today.
So right, everybody. I have been to the hospital today because I've got things going on in my life which aren't great. As in, I need a new kidney and I'm diabetic and everything else. And for those that are watching, look what he bought me. Right now, if my doctors are watching, right, they're all sugar-coated, gorgeous pick and mix style sweets, which he knows is my weak spot. This is probably why I'm diabetic.
With the caveat that last week he couldn't drink the Fanta that I got in, but he was complaining about the lack of pick and mix in the bowl.
Oh, I am such a bad diabetic, but no, thanks for that, Steve. That is a very nice gesture.
And the 7-Up is 0 sugar, so
it is, yes. But I'm not showing that brand yet until they cough up.
Fair enough.
Because we've been trying, haven't we? Sort of unashamedly.
Yes. Unashamed
promotions. Anybody. We are so cheap. Right? If anybody wants to come on and get us, we don't care. But one thing I do need to say, Steve, I'm going to start off by saying, in terms of a sort of recap of the week, I've been to the hospital today on a few catch-ups, but no one's really interested in that. But I did want to do a quick shout-out to an old school buddy who I met up with today. We try and meet up on a regular basis. Aki, if you're listening, because it's his birthday tomorrow.
Lovely. Happy birthday, Aki.
23rd of January. And you know what? 58.
58. Wow.
So we have this little gang of us,
Does
right?
it feel like being in your
No.
mid to late 50s?
No, and actually, this is going to bring us on.
Does your life kind of change differently as you age?
When I hit 53, it did.
Did it?
It seemed to all fall apart at 53. At 53, I'm thinking, hang on for a second. Why am I knackered? And everything else. So yeah, it all starts falling over. But we have this little kind of clique that we have. So there's three of us who are in the same year at school. You know, our birthdays are all within 6 weeks, and so we call ourselves the Three Musketeers because we kind of meet up and still think we're 18, and it's only age. People say it's just a number.
I think it's a state of mind.
Although, and this is, I'm gonna lead into this later on in the pod, but I just wanted to touch on this because, as I always mention, I always get ideas from the radio because I think the radio is a great source of content. And again, driving in today, listening to the radio, they were talking about, do we mourn the loss of our youthful looks? Well, another cheap hint here. I wear these caps because the lights are too bright and I'm bald and you don't want a shiny head. So if there's any hat sponsors who want to come and send us some hats, I don't mind wearing them. But yes, I think I mourn the loss of my hair. But it was this woman on the radio who's basically saying that women, it's more prevalent for women, not men. So men don't really mourn the loss of their youthful good looks and everything else, whereas as much as women.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, since I was 37, I'm 39 now, I have noticed greatly a changing in my hair colour.
Yeah.
The greys are creeping in a lot.
But are you mourning it?
Well, I actually watched this video on YouTube about midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, according to some research, that midlife crisis it kind of sets in at 37.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't say I've had a midlife crisis of any sort. I've not gone out and bought a Lamborghini.
I've had about 10.
But what it did do was become a lot more aware of my aging process and my mortality.
Well, did you think, and again, I can still remember being 18 and 20, and when you were that age thinking, 30 is ancient, right? 40, oh my God. And it's funny because when you look back, so when I look back at my mum and dad, and when they were 50, they looked old.
Yeah.
Right?
Completely.
And it was that kind of generation, wasn't it, where, you look back at sitcoms on the TV, in the 40s. That's the one. What was it called? Where it was George Roper and whatever her name was. Before your time, it's like kind of George and Mildred, right? And she, I can't remember what her name was, but I remember watching that thinking, oh my God, she looks about 60, right? Because of the way they dressed and the hair and everything. And at the time, I think she was only 40.
Well,
and it's like the old Carry On films. Yeah. So many of them were actually really younger, but looked really old.
Yeah, 100%. I remember going to we must have been about 16, 17 years old. I remember going to one of our friends' parents' 40th birthday parties.
Right.
And we were like, whoa, that's old. But when you looked at that age group, as a woman, you look at a woman who was 40, they were past having kids.
Yeah.
They were the geriatric parents. Yeah. Now you're seeing women maybe have kids at 42, 43 quite easily.
And the other thing, excuse me, and the other thing as well is the rise
Was that
of.
always the case? Did women have kids in the 40s regularly back in the
No,
sort of 70s?
God, no. They were all sort of in the 20s and early 30s, maybe.
Because the average age to get married now is 34, when it was 23, I think, back then.
But they were also, as well, back then, when I say back then, I'm talking 60s and 70s, stay-at-home mums.
Yeah.
Whereas now, they've all got to go out because of cost of living and everything else. So I think the whole dynamic's
Most households
changed.
can't survive on the single income anymore, which is a great shame.
They could. And this goes back to what we were saying last week. It all comes down to that lifestyle inflation.
Towing the line. Yeah.
You know? Like my mum didn't drive. So we never had two cars in the family.
Yeah.
Right. The car that we had, I remember in the 70s, my dad was driving us around in a Vauxhall Viva.
Yeah. 3
of us in the back. Yeah. Whereas now you have one baby and the size of junk that you have to take around with your pram and everything else, you need an SUV. You know,
literally.
SUV just for a day out for one child.
God, you should see us on a Saturday when we take the dogs to the beach. Jesus, it's nice. It's like packing to go away for a week.
So yeah, everything has changed, and I did touch on something before we started this pod. So although I say to Steve, I'm not going to tell him what we're going to be talking about, I did touch on this one, and that was the rise of things like Botox, and I'm sorry, my opinion here is I don't understand women that have that kind of trout pout in their lips, because I've not yet seen one woman who's had whatever it is they put in their lips look good. And some of them are quite obsessively large. And you just sit there and go, does anybody say, I'm sorry, love, but that looks a little bit silly, And what's attractive about that? But, it's this whole kind of body dysmorphia. And a warning now, because some of the contents I'm going to talk about in a second could be classed as sexually related. So if you get easily offended or whatever, then you might want to switch off or turn the volume down for a few minutes. But I was talking to my other half the other day, because what seemed to be appearing in my feeds, and this is mainly on TikTok. Right? I think TikTok's full of nutters, personally. Right? I don't really do TikTok, but I kept getting these reels of these girls going, it's like Return of the Bush, right? and it's like, hang on for a second, is this a new trend now? And so I was talking to my other half going, is this a trend where women, mainly younger girls I think it is, are sort of going back to like it used to be in the 70s, where it was like just let everything grow, as kind of like we associate it with like Germans and all that kind of stuff, but and it's like, is it the Return of the Bush? So maybe they could remix that Return of the Mac, Return of the Mac, and it could be Return of the Bush. And so I want to put it out there: is this a trend? Right? Is it for economic reasons? Because you know what, blades are expensive. So keeping up that trimmed look could be expensive. So what I want to know is, this is women only now, are you a shower or are you a grower?
Are you at one with the bush, Chris? Do you like it?
I am not going to say what my preference is. And I'm not going to ask you yours either, because we might get into trouble.
Yeah, fair.
But so that's the question for the women out there. But also, my other half was telling me when she was getting a massage a few months back at this salon, and what she said was, the owner of the salon said to her that a third of her clients are now men getting Botox. So not only are you a shower or a grower, but if you're a man out there, right, let us know. Are you someone who's having Botox? Do men have Botox? So are men spending just as much on their looks? And are we becoming as vain? I wouldn't say as vain as women, but are we caring more about our? Well, obviously, looking at me, you'd say yes, of course, Chris. But I'm a natural.
George Clooney eat your heart out.
I am an absolute natural, and it's a real shame for you people that are only listening, because you really need to get onto the YouTube and find out, and you'll understand, right? When people say to me, "What do you do, Chris? What is your daily routine?" and I just go, eat sweets, lie in bed till 3:00 in the afternoon, drink 10 pints of beer. That's my routine. And you too could look like this. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. That is a joke for you people out there who are quite serious. But, seriously, are men spending more time in it? I mean, if you look at things like This is Chelsea or Made in Chelsea? Yeah. Those guys that are on there. I mean, some of these guys have eyelashes and eyebrows that are plucked to the death.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, me personally, I haven't got Botox in it. I've kind of like made a stand. I put my fork in the sand around
what your man's man
around what I would and want to get done. And the only thing I've came to that I would get done would be my teeth, because your teeth are kind of long lasting.
Well, so that's interesting. So I'm too far gone to get like a hair transplant unless I get one of those kind of stick-on wig things. Might do that. Be quite good fun. But the teeth thing, because I laugh and I joke with people, and I go, Joe, I'm going to go to Turkey and get some turkey teeth and turkey hair, and I think they're kind of making a stand over here in the UK now, aren't they? Because they're saying if dentists, if you go to a dentist with a problem and you've been to Turkey to have your teeth done, they're going to go, not dealing with it.
Yeah. It's hard to get the insurance in this country when it's done in Turkey.
Yeah.
So if you want to get them redone, you've got to go all the way back to Turkey. And
I didn't realise that in Turkey they pretty much take your teeth out.
Yeah. It's quite an ordeal, by all accounts.
Wow. So it is. And so I say it's vain, but I mean, you do see sometimes.
Is that just a new culture though?
Well,
is
this the new thing?
We have grew up with quite a large portion of our life without the rigmarole of social media and the pressure that come with it all to keep up with the Joneses and all that kind of stuff. But with the younger generation, they have not had that period in their life where they haven't had that.
Because it's all image, isn't it? And I think if you spoke to an American and said, what do you think of us Brits? And they'd probably say, bad teeth. Because but then when you see some people that have had the teeth done, and you just sit there and think, that looks ridiculous. It's like having a strip light in their mouth.
I think there is a subtle art to it of like not overdoing it. And I spoke to one guy and he said to get like he went to Turkey actually. He said to get like a chart and it's like A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, and it's basically shades of whiteness. And obviously the A1 is like the sort of the Simon Cowell blinding look.
you come with a free pair of sunglasses.
You take a few shades down.
Yeah.
You don't want them to look sort of dark. In theory, they should look beautiful teeth, but not noticeable. Not overly noticeable. That's how I would like them done if I ever.
Jurgen Klopp had a set, didn't he?
Yeah. He had a good set.
So I put it out there to everybody.
I went to Turkey, to be fair, full disclosure.
So I'm just going to put it out there, just out of curiosity, in the comments. Just let us know, because I just want to know.
Yeah, that is a real good talking point. That, because I would like to know that as well. As a 40-year-old man this year,
you could have it as your 40th birthday present.
Maybe, yeah, a couple of grand.
Set of teeth.
Couple of grand, set of teeth.
See, I would go back to the days of those sweet teeth, bringing it back to sweets.
I mean, if I go bald, I go bald. If I go grey, I go grey. I'm not bothered.
Well, they say, don't they? And it's like Dry January, sponsored by the Non-Alcoholic Drinks Society. It's like I remember when I was in my teens and early 20s, and I used to be an avid reader of GQ. And I always remember, the latest trends in haircuts. It's short haircuts. It's the buzz cut and everything else. And I'd be going, really? Because I quite liked my hair. It wasn't super long, but I liked a bit of a floppy fringe and everything else. Look. And then I realised that the guys that are telling us, crew cuts and everything else we're in, well, because they're going bald. You never had a guy with long hair telling us that.
There's always a marketing ploy behind it.
There is, isn't there? There's always like, the reason that it's because It's like tomatoes are good for you, says the Tomato Growing Society.
100%.
but anyway, so yeah, let us know about that. Because we all like to feel like we got our fingers on the pulse, haven't we, Steve? But I also wanted to say, so those of you that follow us on a regular basis, last week I have to apologise because last week I said that I thought I'd woken up in a communist kind of society and had been taken over by North Korea. And I have to apologise because I apologise to North Korea on that one because I don't think I got the wrong country. I don't think it is North Korea because after what's been happening in this last week, I think it's the Chinese.
Yeah.
You know? Because have you seen that massive embassy that's been signed off now by the government?
No, I didn't see it.
Right slap bang in the middle of the superhighway that's in London, with all these secret rooms. It used to be the Royal Mint building, and the Chinese embassy have gone, this is going to be like a huge, huge embassy, and we'd like it, thank you very much. We're not going to tell you what we're putting in there. And we've just gone, oh, okay then. Do what you want. Thank you. Can we have a look at your plans? No.
Oh my goodness.
So the Chinese embassy with all these secret powers, you can do that. And then Starmer's announced that we've got this fund now. The government's given us a fund to install all these solar panels and heat pumps and everything else. And 75% of all the solar panels that get made are from China. Okay? Made using fossil fuel. And you go, okay, so why are we doing that? Why can't we have an industry inside the UK? And bearing in mind, can you, and again, all you climate changes, activists and all that kind of stuff, come on, let's be honest. Solar panels in the UK? How's that going to work? I know they sit there and go, we've had the warmest summer in like history, but we are not Spain.
No.
We have a very small percentage of days in the year where there's bright sun to power these solar panels. But anyway, that's the government's policy, and then I do believe that the Chagos Islands that we're apparently giving away, and by the way, paying them 35 billion, if you believe the reports, to who are they giving it away to? I want to say it's not. No. Anyway, look. Basically, it's China. The country they're giving them to, I can't remember what they are. I should have really researched this. This is one of the downsides to not having it prepped. But they are basically in the pockets of the Chinese. But anyway, we'll just get over that one and come back to it. So yeah, it's more like the Chinese. And I believe Starmer's going out to China next week to. And bear in mind, he's going to China because he wants to again have a new embassy.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't fill me with confidence going into sort of foreign negotiations.
Well, he's going out there because apparently, again, didn't realise this, but our embassy in China, they've switched the water off. The Chinese have switched it off for some reason, and we're like, oh, okay. Don't you worry about that. I don't know how things go.
China are a powerful force, really, aren't they?
They're massive, and we've got to ask ourselves this question again. So we are now on the 22nd of January. So this week, and we're not Newsnight, we're not a top political show, and I don't want people thinking that we are. We just discuss what's going on in the news. And so this week, we've had Mr. Trump, President Trump, threatening to take Greenland, might be by force and everything else. And then he comes out with a statement after our Prime Minister, who thinks he's some big hitter, standing up and saying, the only people that should decide if Greenland should be part of America are the people that live in Greenland, whatever they're called, right? I'm not that intelligent enough to know what you would call someone from Greenland. And so he sits there and he says, that's our stance on it. It should be those people rather than, Donald Trump saying he wants it. So then Trump comes out and says, you're stupid. he basically calls Keir Starmer stupid because Starmer makes this statement and says they're stupid because look what he's done with the Chagos Islands, right? So he's given the Chagos Islands away without asking the people of Chagos whether they want this or not. So let's give it away. But not just that, all right? Who does this? So Chagos Islands are currently ours. But I tell you what, we'll give it away to another country. And by the way, we'll give you 35 billion to take it off our hands. Right? And you're like, what? You're going to give us 35 billion? Yeah. And once we've given you the 35 billion, so that we can keep our bases there, we'll pay you another 100 million a year just so that we can use it.
Yeah.
And you can just see the people sitting there going, looking over their shoulder thinking, is this like a candid camera or something? Is this a joke? Yeah. Okay. And I half imagine those people will be sitting there going, oh, so you want to buy, you want to give us 35 billion for the island? Of course. Hey, gringo, come on down, you know? and you know, you kind of sit there and think, is that part of our is that how we negotiate? We've got something, we want you to have it, but we'll pay you 35 billion. Whilst we have got people, we're skint. We are skint as a nation. We can't even, our welfare costs are going through the roof. Yeah. And the government then goes, well, we want to cut back on just 5 billion of that. 5 billion. And the backbenchers go, no, we're not going to, we don't want you to do that. So he backs down. And so I'm not surprised Trump comes out and says, you're stupid. So I don't know how we do this, but, and again, maybe we do something in the comments. What I want to know, you great listeners and viewers of this pod, is, and I'm putting it out there, this is not my personal opinion, but I just want to feel what other people think. So I put it to you, is Starmer A, stupid, B, hypocritical, C, weak,
yeah,
or D, all of the above?
Oh dear. Because
you know, we spoke last week about him doing so many U-turns that you know, he just nothing he says, I believe.
No, and he doesn't film with confidence going into.
No confidence. And then this week, and again, I'm only quoting what I've heard off other news sources. So they're all in Davos, apart from Starmer, right? And someone.
Why isn't Starmer there?
I've no idea. Oh, that's right. Because Trump had said that he can't guarantee a face-to-face with Starmer. So Starmer thinks, well, I'm too important for that. Anyway, so he sent his other cronies that are out there, one of which is Rachel.
Oh my goodness.
Rachel Reeves.
Oh my goodness.
And one...
Is there anyone in the country that actually supports Rachel Reeves?
Well, so yes, I am. And I'm going to support her in this, well, because I think she's been hard done by.
In this instance.
Because this particular news channel said that whenever Rachel Reeves is lying, she stutters, right? And so they were mocking her by basically playing this interview, and she's just blabbering along, stuttering, and they go, that's when you know she's lying. She's just rambling on. Well, I have to defend that because I think that's unfair. Because I think Rachel Reeves you can tell Rachel Reeves is lying, not by her stuttering, by her opening her mouth. So I'm gonna stick up for Rachel there and say she just stutters anyway, but it's just the fact that she opens her mouth. Yeah. She's lying. Yeah.
Don't pick on her for stuttering.
No.
She's lying anyway.
She's lying anyway. She's just lying. And again, because I think she got a bit ratty this week.
What does it serve politicians to actually lie? Is it just to line their own pockets, basically?
Well, so, and again, everybody, before you start thinking I'm some kind of Tory, anti-Labour or Reform, I'm not. I'm just reporting or giving my views on everything because I keep ranting on that they're all the same, right? So Rachel Reeves was getting angry with this person that was interviewing her because they were saying, "Oh, do you know what? Rate of inflation's gone up. Growth is not going anywhere." And she's kind of snapped at him and said, "I'm sick and tired of listening to people putting down the UK." And I kind of sat there and went, "Okay, here it comes. She's gonna tell us that everything's going fine." And you kind of sit there and you're like, "Oh, our investment's great. Growth is great," and blah blah blah. And you sit there thinking, "Oh, shut up." But anyway. It's not just Labour. It's not the Tories. It's also happening to Farage as well, because this week Farage has been wrapped over the knuckles because he forgot to disclose his £370,000 worth of income or something, and he failed to report it within the specified time. So they're all at it.
Okay.
They are all at it, and you just sit there and think, "Oh, come on." And
am I right in thinking, and this is, I don't want to digress too much, am I right in thinking that income tax was like a temporary thing after World War One that kind of just stayed permanent because the government benefited off it?
Oh, I don't know.
It was brought in after World War One as like let's get the country back on our feet. Everyone contributes a little bit of income, and then
I don't know. I mean, and but it's interesting that we mentioned last week about the local elections being postponed. And we had a few comments back where some people were going, "Oh, do you know what? You know what you're talking about, blah, 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 this, that and the other." And they're doing it because, they want to save money. Right, sorry. Again, what a complete and utter lie, right? I do not know of one council that's actually saving us money.
Yeah.
They all say it, but they'll rise council tax, they'll charge us for all sorts. They have absolutely got no intention of saving us money. So whoever you are who made that comment to say, they don't want to waste taxpayers' money. Right, should we get Ed Miliband in? Huh? I heard the other day that, so Ed Miliband is spending billions, right? And it's all going on to our energy bills for his net zero program, of which, get how stupid again is this? And I'm sorry, Trump's got a point here, but whilst we're going down net zero and we're shutting down our North Sea oil, which is one of our assets, you'll never guess where we're buying gas from. Fucking Norway, excuse my French. Right? We're buying it from Norway because it's cheaper. Why? Where's Norway getting their gas from? The North Sea. And I'm sitting there thinking, we could only make this up. So Ed Miliband and his cronies think that shutting down North Sea oil, because it's fossil, right? And you know what? Climate change and all that. So let's pay a premium, right? And get something better. Oh, that's right. Let's go to the Norwegians and say, can we buy North Sea oil off you at a highly inflated rate? And you kind of sit there and go,
make it make sense.
Come on. So when you talk about common sense failures, that's one of the biggest that's out there. Whilst doing that, we're spending billions on net zero that, from what I can see, isn't really working.
No.
So yeah, that really kind of bugs me.
It's one of them things. I'm not going to claim to know much about climate change, but from what I gather, from the little I do know, it will affect the planet in the longer term. And when I say longer term, like maybe a couple of 100 years, but in the short term, we've got to look after ourselves now.
Well, I think we do. We need to live for the moment, not 100%. What's going to happen 100%. In 500 years' time.
100%. I would imagine that if they change the government sort of, the cycle of governments in the UK, so maybe like a 4-year cycle like they do in America, I think more stuff would actually get done if they had a specific time frame.
Well, I get sick and tired, and again, people just say I don't know what I'm talking about, which, I don't profess to know what I'm talking about. But one thing I do get frustrated about is when the government of the time, whoever it might be, sit there and go, we were elected in, let's take this one, we were elected in 2023. All right, so we've got a term of up to maximum 2028, unless my maths is wrong. 5-year term. It could be earlier, right? They might get in for a second term. Chances are I don't think they will. And then they come out and they go, by 2035, we're gonna, and I'm thinking, why do we even listen to that shite? Why do we even listen to them sitting there going, we will have this done by the end of the next parliament? Yeah, right. Well, you might not even be in power. Yeah. So what happens is the next bunch of Muppets come in and they undo what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, and then you sit there and you go, we just go around in circles.
10 steps forwards.
And there's another waste of money. So you people that sit there and say, do you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. Councils, because they don't want to give us, bigger bills. Stop it. Just stop it. Because I'm sorry, but it.
100%.
I'm yet to be convinced.
Yeah. Has anyone in recent years done a decent job in your opinion?
In what, local councils?
Just anywhere, yeah. In any government.
Well, you know what? I actually quite like.
Well, one thing I do like about Trump, even though I disagree with many of his sort of ways, I do like his sort of bull in a china shop style of getting stuff done. I mean, this whole thing with Greenland. Say what you want about it, but he has made stuff happen.
Right, and for all those Trump haters that are out there, I blame Clinton's and Barack Obama and everything else, because what got Trump in my mind, was their inability to do stuff. They come in on a high promise. Nothing really changed. Barack Obama didn't really, shake the world up. And then when his term came, that he and the Americans were presented with the Clintons again, Hillary Clinton. I think a lot of people just thought, I'm not having this, right? Because it's just the same old. And then Trump comes along, and I think they probably thought, this is different. He's not got the political background that all the others have got. And you know what? These political elite aren't really doing it for us. He's a businessman. Let's see if that's any good. And he does shake things up a little bit. I'm not saying I agree with it all, but at least he seems to get things done. Yeah. Right. All the other political and
whether it's right or wrong, he does get it done.
Yeah. And the same is happening over here. If Farage gets in, I will blame the Tories and Labour, because the two-party system has been going on for donkey's years, and the Conservatives screwed it up. And the Labour have just done exactly the same, made it worse. And so people are just getting tired and will end up voting. I'm sure if a bunch of cats and dogs put their names forward, they'd get voted in. Because I think people are getting sick and tired of being lied to and everything else. So,
what's your opinion on Rupert Lowe?
I don't really know. Because I don't know.
He got booted out of the Reform Party.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him. The only one politician I quite like at the moment, and this is by no means saying I agree again with everything, but I like him, and I think he might do some good, and that's Wes Streeting. Yeah, right. I think Wes Streeting holds himself really well. I think he's definitely positioning himself. 100%. I also heard today,
he's definitely posturing in the backbench,
because I heard today that Andy Burnham might be parachuted in because some Labour guy is potentially resigning due to ill health, which will free up a seat. And what they're saying is Andy Burnham could be parachuted in, and that might be the start of the end for Starmer.
I wouldn't disagree with that. And he's very likeable, Andy Burnham.
He is very likeable, and I'd like to see Wes Streeting. I quite like Wes Streeting. The rest of them, I ain't got the time
Andy
for.
Burnham, I used to sit next to him at the football.
Okay.
And I got speaking to him a few times, and he's a really nice guy.
Hang on, whoa, stop. Is Andy Burnham there for an Evertonian?
Yeah, he's
right. I've gone right off him.
He's an Everton.
Right off him. No, Andy Burnham.
Andy Burnham, the Everton season ticket holder. Yeah, but he's a nice guy. He's obviously the mayor of Greater Manchester. Yeah. Very well liked. The only thing I would say about Burnham is he's a northerner, and he doesn't quite fit the mould of that southern establishment's sort of Whitehall type.
Do you think we should try and get one of these on?
Yes. Well, Steve Rotherham, who's the obviously Labour MP of Liverpool, and Andy Burnham are sort of tag teaming on this thing called The Birds and the Bees. So play on words of the Liver Birds and the Manchester Bee. And they're trying to build, obviously, business links between Manchester and Liverpool.
Well, Andy Burnham, here we go. Look, shout out to you.
Shout out to Andy Burnham, yeah.
We're getting 40,000 views now a week, believe it or not. Yeah. So, Mr. Burnham, why don't you get yourself on to where common sense fails for a bit of a laugh? Yep. Nothing serious. Like I say, we're not politics now or anything like that. Yeah. But come on in. Yeah. Let's have a bit of a chat.
100%.
And let's get to know.
I would love to speak to Andy Burnham.
And what Andy Burnham's like. 100%. We'll talk about football and everything else. Yeah. Because, and I might have mentioned this before, Steve. I'm excited for the pod tomorrow. Our new pod, by the way. That was Then, This Is Now, with Nasha from Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
100%. Looking forward to it. That one's been in. It's been on the hush hush for a few weeks. But it's happening. It's going live.
It absolutely is happening. And you know what? For a little kid from North Wales
who
loves his music, and was so influenced by this band in the 80s, I had a surreal moment this week. I was in Prestatyn, of all places. Yeah. And I'm just about parking up outside Marks and Spencer's. I was going to get some lunch. And up pops on my phone Nasha from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Ringing me. He's ringing me. All right, Chris, are we still on for Friday? I'm like, all right. I kind of, go high pitched.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that. I was trying to say really cool. Who is this? Who? Basher from Whizzering Chips.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. No, sorry. No, I am so excited.
Wasn't Basher the Dennis the Menace's dog? Ganasha.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Nasha, but with a G. Does that mean he was Ganasha, or was he just Nasha? But I am so excited about getting him on. Yeah, I've got to be calm tomorrow and not be the fanboy.
I've invited a few exciting guests on over the next few weeks, which we'll talk about off camera. But some cool people. Cool people.
Also, I'm gonna for anybody that hears this that knows this guy, I sent a message out to Ian McNabb. Who's someone else I want to speak to and
get on. The feelers out to the universe today, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, and well, Ian McNabb, you haven't even replied to my message. Come on, I know Ian. You're a busy man.
Come on, Ian.
So yeah, let's get it out there, because you know what? Well, I want us to be like, the fun pod.
Yeah, 100%. There's no reason why not.
Let's talk about social events, but in a fun way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I think we've thrown a few questions out there for people to.
2026 has started with a real sort of politics is just rife at the moment, like everywhere. Well, you can't switch it on any channel, whether it's social media, television, whatever, without hearing Trump, Davos, Starmer, this, that, blah 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 blah.
Well, personally, I think it's probably because they have such a big influence in our lives, and our lives at the moment feel crap.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
I think everyone, because it's the start of the year and everyone's kind of made the resolutions getting into January. Now it's kind of all settled down a bit. I think everyone is still quite determined to make 2026 a lot better than 2025.
Well, yeah. And also, people will be feeling a bit miffed because it's a lot of self-assessment tax returns at the end of this month.
Oh, don't remind me.
So there's going to be a lot of people sitting there going...
Harriet, if you're listening to this, I apologise. I will definitely get my tax return done in the next few days.
Well, so again, people are just going to be sitting there going, I'm paying how much again? For what am I getting for this? So, yeah, there'll be a lot of people thinking that and probably... whinging and complaining about, why they're paying so much. But it's tough at the moment. I think life feels tougher.
Yeah. I mean, the government's always promising to put more money in the British public's pockets and all that kind of stuff. And
I don't believe a word of that either.
No one's feeling that at the moment. No one is feeling that.
Let's put it out there. If you are feeling flush, you're feeling, that there's a great future.
And even if you are slightly more wealthy, are you having to rein it in a little bit?
Yeah.
We'd love to know. These are all talking points for the podcast. And interestingly, we didn't actually set out for this podcast to become political. It's just so rife at the moment that that's the topics we're talking about.
Yeah, we are not.
We are open to speaking about anything.
We are not political.
No,
honestly.
not.
But
Don't claim to know much
and just to prove it, don't forget, are you a shower or a grower? And if you are, I'd like to know if it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, I've just got this image of a German nudist beach with like a woman with it all hanging out with a big perm in the 1970s.
Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking of? Bo Selector. Because didn't he used to
You did, yeah.
take the mickey out of what's her name with her? Anyway, look, we digress a little bit there. So in terms of kind of other bits and pieces, I haven't got an awful lot prepared for this week. So I'm pretty much...
No. As always, I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the spontaneity of it, to be fair. I enjoy we just pick it up. Well, you pick it up, everybody can shoot it at me, and I just kind of...
You just sit there and just...
I like it.
Give me your views on it.
Yeah.
But no, I thoroughly enjoy this time, and everybody.
And also, like, we've been doing this, and we enjoy doing it, and we were teasing along for a good few weeks, and then the last couple of weeks, he just absolutely took off. So, really appreciative of all the likes, all the comments, whether you agree with us or not. That's 100%. We appreciated all the feedback across all the platforms, and if you do like it, please like and subscribe because it really helps us. And it gives us a reason to keep going. And it keeps Chris's ego in check.
Got to keep that ego going. I have two sisters and they both sitting there going, oh, Jesus Christ. Why did you have to get so many views and everything else? Because we don't want you to have any excuse to get that ego back out of the box. I'm like, it's coming. The box is bigger.
Well, in theory, we haven't really even scratched the surface yet.
We haven't.
The potential. So 2026, we're going to the moon.
You know what? Well, look, who said it? Who was there saying once?
That was actually one thing I seen in the news this week. NASA are sending a space rocket around the dark side of the moon. They're not going to put feet on moon, as in land on the moon. But it's the preparation flight for putting feet back on the moon.
I was just about to say something.
And they will see us there on our podcast.
Well, they might. But I was just about to say, I don't know who said it, but I do remember someone coming out and saying, don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I also heard, don't let facts get in the way of your feelings.
Anyway, look, Steve, I think it's a short one this week.
I appreciate your time. I think we've still got a good hour there, to be fair. So
it's a short one because I'm excited because I've got to go and finish off my preparation for tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So everybody tune in because it will be a new podcast. But yeah, let's get to find out what is going on in the world of NASA.
Perfect, mate. Love it. And I'll see you soon, mate. See you next week.
Cheers, everyone.